Okay, should be recording, so let's start. What I have today is about functional components. Okay, this is a little application that is just making an API call to what's the name? JSON API placeholder. Placeholder JSON. What's the name? Oh, JSONPlaceholder. Okay. So I'm making an API call to this one, and I'm rendering the information. Okay. And let's do something. Let's install React Dev Tools. Okay. Let's see this one. At the Chrome, sure. Add extension. Wait. And okay. Meanwhile, let's go back here and paste on. Okay. Done. So okay. How is that? It doesn't have. Okay. So no, it's with F12 invalid property class. Let's fix this one inside functional line 13 and okay, just the one. And everything is working. So let's go back to React. So okay, browser router. If you know, browser router is from React router, and so where is my? I'm using it on the index. Okay, so I'm importing browser router DOM. Browser router, I mean from React router DOM. That is, just go to package.json, and it's from the React router DOM module. You see here the version. Let's go back to index, and you need to surround your application with this browser router to be able to make the routes work. Okay? So that's this thing. So I'm going to show you. Okay. Let me see if I get this. It's here. And oh, I want. Okay. This is it. So you see we have some props here that is called users. Okay. So let's first start from the beginning, as it should be. Okay, we don't need this, we don't need this, and let's go to app.js. Okay, so what is going on? What I'm going to talk about is functional components on React. Okay, this is a class-based component. You define a class with the name, you extend the component class, okay, and you export that class. Okay. Now, what is a functional component? A functional component is a function. It's just a function. Okay, you specify a constant with the name of your constant, of course, and you pass a function. Okay, this is just a function, an arrow function, and you export that. Okay, that is a functional component. It's just a function. So what's the difference between a functional component and a class-based component? So with class-based components, you can use you can use the state. You can give your application, your class, I mean, a state. So let's see how this application works. As you can see, it's just a little application that makes, okay, that's not working actually. Okay, that is just making an API call. Let's go to, this is the main route. This is the welcome route. You can see I'm just adding the switch. I'm importing the switch and route from React Router DOM inside this component. Okay, and it's hitting first this path. Okay, so when we add /users, we are going to render the other component. Okay, so this first component is the welcome. Let's take a look at that. So this is also a functional component. Okay, it's just a constant that is returning a function. So in this case, you will see something with functional components. That in this case, I'm using this, parentheses. I'm not using the curly braces. So in this case, I'm just returning this div. This means that I want to render this thing. I don't care about anything else. I just want to render what I got here. So I'm importing an image, this couch image, that is this one. And I'm returning just this h1 with a functional component. I mean, with the text functional components and a link that, as you know, is going to be rendered as an anchor tag. Okay, that this is the link. We need this from React Router DOM, okay, to create the anchors. So that's it. This is the only thing this component is doing. It's just rendering. I don't care about the props. I don't care about state. I don't care about props or state here. So I'm just rendering this this tip. So let's go back. Okay, we don't need this anymore. Now the important thing is here. Since this is a class-based component, okay, we can use the state. So I'm specifying the state with the users, okay, with these users. So when the component mounts, I'm making a fetch or a call to JSONPlaceholder users. Okay, I'm passing the response and I'm setting it as the state. Okay, so we can do this console.log this dot state dot users. Okay, let's see what we get. So this is the code. Okay, is it? I'm getting all this information from this API call, and now this is my state. Okay, so let me get rid of this, save, and so when I go to users, First, I'm setting this state. As I said, functional components cannot manage the state. Okay, you can only manage your props. So how am I going to pass this information, okay, this state, to the other page, that is this thing? Okay. So as I said, I'm passing a switch with two routes. One route that is just a functional component, and the other route that is going to render, okay, is a component that is a functional component. Okay, exporting this thing. Okay, so what is going on here? And since I need to pass this state, okay, that is now the users array, need to pass it to the child component. Okay, I just pass it as props. I said these props will be called users, and I'm going to pass this state users. Okay, so that is the state. So let's go to the functional component. You see something different here. Remember that on the welcome, I don't care about anything else, and I'm just rendering, okay, using these parentheses. I'm just rendering this div. I don't have any props. I don't have to pass any state into this. Okay, so I'm just going to render what I got here. Now I do care here on the functional component. I do care about how this thing is going to render the props. Okay, so I'm importing as well React Router DOM. I don't need anything else. So I'm actually saying pass the props, okay, and opening the function with the curly braces. Okay, so now here I'm saying if this user's props that is an array has a length of 0, return this. Let's take a look at that. Okay, here router application div. Okay, this is the route that is being rendered, and this is the functional component. And okay, I'm seeing here I have some props, and it's the users. Okay, it has all the information that I need, and I'm getting these users because I'm sending them using these props. Okay, and I'm sending the state that I'm getting from here. Okay, so if this thing is false, I'm going to return, I'm saying explicitly return this paragraph if this thing is 0. Okay, while here I'm not calling that return. It's an implicit return if I do these parentheses. Okay, but here I need to say return this element. When I use these curly braces, this is just a regular function. So else, if this thing is false, okay, if users dot length is not equal to 0, let's return a React fragment, okay, with a link that says just go back, okay, and here, why is this thing all over there? Okay, let me so okay, I'm returning this post container, and now here I can map to these props, okay, to get what I want, that is this thing, okay, that is these little cards, okay. So don't forget that with curly braces you need to explicitly say return this. So I'm returning, if this thing is 0, I'm returning this, users is empty, and if not, if this is not 0, I'm returning a fragment and I'm mapping through all the users inside that array, and I'm returning, remember you need to return, okay, after you call map, I'm returning a div with the class name post, with a key that is the user's ID, okay, and all the information here. So you see me use this one or this thing because it's easier. If you just going to manage or to send some props, it's easier to call it this way. Instead, the class-based component, that is, I think this is yeah, that is this one. But the difference that you cannot use a state with this kind of component. Okay, you can only use props. There's a little package that will allow you to use a state with this thing, but I will need to learn a little more about that. But if you're building a little application or something that you just need to pass some props, okay, that your children components don't need to actually manage the state just to render, but you can use this thing, okay. So if you care about the state, you will need to make these class based components to manage and call your state, okay. So that's it. That's a little explanation about how functional components and class based components work. So the next code review is going to be a React GraphQL client. So you will see me use this kind of approach, and on the next application that I build, I'm also going to start using this thing more instead of using all classes and things like that, okay. Because this thing is a little faster, I think it's faster than this class-based. So remember that you can only use a state with the class component, and you can only use props with the functional components. Yeah. So I think that's it. Okay, let me check for something. Okay, around 20 minutes. Okay. So yes, if you want to debug your applications, use these React developer tools. Okay, it will add this little this little menu, and you can browse to your application, to see how everything is working. Okay, and it will give you a lot of information. Okay, and it will be easier for you to debug if you are still not using this. Oh, I cannot speak today. If you're not using this extension, you can use it, and it will make your React development easier. And that's it. I hope you like this little explanation. So, yep, that's all. And if you like it, or if you didn't like it, let me know in the comments. And I think that's all. See you on the next one.